So whether you're here to see the Azimut 60 fly because you wonder how the boat is built and the workings in the engine room, or you want to see what your day is like on the water, the good news is I'm going to give you both and a whole lot more. So we're going to start up here in the Salon, and we'll spend a little bit of time here in the cockpit because it is it's an extremely well laid out cockpit with tons of features. And a little backstory, I had the chance to present as a dealer, as a boat salesperson, this boat in 2019, early 2019, and I did a video and I talked about how just wonderful I thought this boat was. Well, fast forward to 2022, I actually put my money where my mouth is, and we bought one. My family and I have spent a little over a year on it. We've got about 2,000 miles and 300 hours. So I feel like not only, do I have the vantage point of a boat salesperson, I have the vantage point of a customer. So we're going to go through, talk about what we like, what we don't like. We love this. It is roomy dining. It'll also come with 2 director's chairs that can go up on the bridge or come back here or onto the swim platform. But we've had dinner for 8 on the boat in inclement weather. There's a shade that'll come out of here down through these tracks, and it's a slow moving shade, but it gives you a little bit of privacy, but it also gives you the transparency to look through. You've got a refrigerator here in the cockpit where we'll keep some waters and other beverages right in here, an isotherm refrigerator. This is a wonderful area as you're coming in to store things. Bunch of storage. One thing unique to Azimut is, well, not unique to Azimut, but maybe unique to European boats, is you're going to get a windlass back here. So if you're med mooring, if you're sterning in, and this is an 80,000 pound boat, so if you need a little bit of cinching and maybe you don't have the wherewithal to do it, you can wrap a line around here. You've got a foot pedal and it'll cinch you in nice and tight. So it's really a nice standard feature. I'd say an option, but it's really a standard feature. And then the line will go down into a rope locker, and it's really well thought out from a storage standpoint. Bunch of storage here. This is where we'll keep all of our, the canvas is here for the table and the aft seating, but when that is, when the canvas is on, I have our dock lines there. When we use the dock lines, then we uncover the boat. I usually run with the canvas on because that makes for a little cleaner environment back here. But incredibly well laid out, tons of room, dimmable lights. Let's head on into the Salon. Now, one thing you'll notice, and this is unique to this Azimut, and it was designed for it at the time, and it still stays today. No step, right? No toe knocker. So you're really walking right in flush, and there's a drain in there, a gutter underneath this teak, which maybe I can get it up, maybe I can't, but there's a drain inside there to handle the water, and that's code. That's part of building a boat to code. But you come into the Salon, and it is, I believe, for a 60-foot boat, this boat is it. I think it's a category killer. I think it has all the design features, all the space, everything you're looking for. By the way, spec-wise, it's 59 feet 10 inches, so it's a true 60, 16.7 beam. It's got a 4'9" draft. Boat runs about 30 knots. It's Azimut publishes up to 31 knots. My boat runs about 30 knots. There's a lot of variation between load and water and conditions, but I would say it's a 30-knot boat for sure. But look at the Salon, and what I do like is now you have a step which kind of separates the dinette in the upper area from the Salon. I find the seating to be excellent, and I'm going to show you the best part of the seating in a second. We did a 2-week trip through the Bahamas, and we brought so much stuff, I didn't know where we were going to put it. But you start opening this up, and if you drink wine, you can put wine down here. You have a wine cooler, but you may want to bring a little more. We had other kinds of beverages, massive amounts of storage. It's on a hinge, so it's nice. It's finished well. You have another one over here, and those of you that are boaters are going to understand how important storage is. And there's tons of it. There really is I would say it's a plus feature of this boat, the amount of sheer storage that you get. And it's easy to access, super easy to access, right? Take off cushion, hinges up. You don't have to fumble with it to see if it fits. Back in place. Same thing over here. This comes out, kind of lift up, pull it out a little bit. Tons of storage in here. And on our boat, it was full. But again, 2 weeks in the Bahamas, you're going to want to make sure that you bring all the provisions, dry goods, drinks. We put a Spot Zero on our boat. We'll talk about that a little bit, which is a water maker, water purifier. And, you know, I think everybody today is getting a little more environmentally sensitive. Bottled water. I used to bring 5 cases of bottled water, a lot of plastic. Put a water maker in and a purifier. Now we drink the water out of the boat. And selfishly for me, I don't have to lug case after case of water to the boat. But from an environmental standpoint, you know, we go boating for a weekend now, and I have a pretty small trash bag. I used to have a bunch of bottled water, used to have paper plates. This boat comes with China. It's kind of cool, branded on the back. And I'll be honest, I thought, you know, China on a boat, maybe we're not that type of family. It's a little hoity-toity, but it is a yacht. And, you know, some people like the China. Where I fell in love with it is you wash it and there's no waste. Now you're not recycling paper plates and plastic bottles, and you know, look, boats aren't, to some degree, boats aren't as environmentally friendly as we'd like them to be. It's kind of my way of saying, hey, we're trying to tip the scales back to neutral. Come here, it's amazing. Whatever you drink, you have stemless glasses that store wonderfully with a little rubber bushing around it. Champagne glasses, of course. None of that rattles when you're underway. Everything has a storage place you're not worried about, and then you got a nice storage here, which I haven't seen it empty, because ours, it's like a closet in your house. It's totally full of stuff. Outlet here for coffee maker, whatever you like. Honestly, I wish they'd put an outlet over here, because I think in the galley there was, you know, there's a need for another outlet. But one of the very few negatives I would say is I wish you had an outlet over there, because we keep our coffee maker over here and keep this area for doing other stuff. But it kind of is what it is, right? It's we gave them the suggestion, and I think they'll work on it. Nice wine fridge. Holds them vertically and horizontally here. I think it's a 12-bottle fridge, which you think would last a while, but you know, sometimes you get some friends on the boat and it goes a little quicker than you like. Massive amounts of storage. Garbage can tips out. Then you have recycling and you have your regular garbage. And then more storage here. And really all of that gets used. You'd be surprised. And then a big storage area in there that you could take a look at, along with the dedicated cutlery, which again, now you're not using plastic forks, plastic knives, plastic spoons. It's a little more to wash, never quite as fun. However, it does give just a little bit back to the environment when you're not dumping bag after bag of plastic. So I like it. I wash some dishes. Convection microwave works amazingly well. Full-size refrigerator. Full size is a relative term, but it's big enough. Certainly for a boat refrigerator. And keep in mind, you've got refrigeration in the cockpit, and you have refrigeration on the bridge, along with an ice maker on the bridge. So you have enough cold places. And one really cool area, and we'll come around here and take a look at it in a second, is the I call it the pantry. Right now, it's got some of the things that'll go to the new owner, but the new owner will take this all away. And there's your pantry. And it's actually plenty. We self-contained on the boat, again, within reason, for 2 weeks in the Bahamas, planning another trip now. And it was awesome. This area is probably my favorite area on the boat. This is down at cocktail height. You sit here, but what is really unique in this case is the window goes down to the deck level, as opposed to a lot of times you would have it up here and you'd eliminate the view. Well, we're in a marina, so you're looking at another boat, which isn't the worst view in the world. But if you were if you're anchored out somewhere and you're going to have a cup of coffee, you're looking into the water. It is fabulous. And then this table also goes up and down. I won't go super fast, and I'll show you the concept, but to save a little bit of time, it opens up. Now you're making it into a dining table. You've got a little latch under here. We'll spin it around. If I finish the job, it comes up to about here. And now you're eating breakfast, eating lunch, eating dinner, whatever you like. We also, under duress, we needed another cabin. This is a 3-cabin, 3-head boat. We needed another cabin. 4-cabin boat's about $1 million more, so I call it the $1 million piece of foam. We opened this table up, we dropped it down, we got a piece of foam, we got some sheets, and in a pinch, this made one heck of a bed. And it's $1 million piece of foam. Blinds close here. Get you that. Which is really nice at night, and there's screens for the window on the outside that we can look at later. Now you get to, and we look at the rest of this. Coffee cups, plates, the rest of the china, and then even a couple serving bowls. And it took us a minute to kind of get the hang of that, right? We're thinking of a boat, your t-shirts, your shorts, you're having a good time. We're not China people necessarily, but it was a pretty compelling thought to say, hey, let's save a little bit of stress on the environment. So 2 Raymarine screens, fully functional, gives you some of the internal stuff. This is the boat controls, various boat controls. I won't take you through all of it, but if you ever need to turn your gray water on, your black water, fresh water, anchor chain, keep going the other way, your various alarms, if the engines are on, super functional. Get back here, and then typical Raymarine, you've got a fish finder radar chart, any combination of it. You got your AV through here, your videos on the boat. If the boat has cameras, I've got 3 cameras. I've got an engine room camera, I've got a bridge camera, and I've got an aft deck camera. Helps me in various stages just to know where everybody is. And the same thing, this is duplicated on both sides. Steering's a dream. It's electrically assisted. So you're turning it more like a car, that it's not there's not a resistance to it. It's really electronic. Dual station, bow thruster, docking mode, a little bit of steering here if you like, but it's very straightforward with a little bit of AC. I very rarely ever run down here at the end of the day. Everything I do is up on the bridge. It's cold weather, I don't care. If it's hot, I don't care. I just like being up there. The view's amazing. And then your various controls. You can open some windows, which is nice if you are docking down here and you want to communicate out. You know, you can put your head out the window and give yourself a little bit of control. Occasionally, I live in Florida, southern Florida. You're not going to open the windows all that much, but occasionally on a beautiful, beautiful day, you may open the windows, get a little cross ventilation, but at the end of the day, we're kind of a slave to air conditioning. Let's head down to the cabins. We've got a master stateroom that is absolutely incredible. This is the first boat that I've had with a chiller system, and what that means to the technical people. It's not a dedicated AC in every cabin. It's control of AC in every cabin, but it's in the engine room, so it's quiet. It's so quiet. You don't hear the AC cycling on and off. You set it and forget it, and it is so peaceful, so quiet. It's just fantastic, and it works like a champ. Comes through the ventilation up there, as you can see. We talk about storage. Again, it's massive amounts of storage. Storage there, storage here, flip down there for shoes. This is a seat. You could do a vanity if you like, but you know, generally we don't order it that way. Safe is useful, right? You're in the Bahamas. You got a couple things, passports. You want to lock them up. That's a nice touch. Really good storage here for hanging things. longer and shorter, lighted with a little mirror. And then storage there, of course. And this is killer under here. This is absolutely phenomenal. One-hand operation. It's cavern. Ours is totally full. I'll be honest, this is where we put our wine. I have a 50-inch TV in a box that I use through Wi-Fi that I'll put up on the bridge to watch a game every now and then. We don't do a lot of TV on the boat, but during football and baseball season, we like to watch a game here and there. And I put the TV in the box, take it upstairs, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And a little more storage here on both sides. Outlets on both sides. Today, everybody's got a phone. You got to plug it in. You've got USB, USB-C over there, and you've got the regular 110 outlet here. Storage in the head is ridiculous. I know it's kind of a repeating theme, but you've got a massive amount of storage here for all your toiletries and things that you need. Massive amount there. More storage here. More storage there. And again, as for the experienced boater, you'll appreciate it immediately. For the boater that's growing into this, as you start doing longer trips, it really does make quite a difference. And then I'm going to let the camera go in and look at the shower. The shower is awesome. It's plenty big. Good headroom, good pressure. It's everything you need. Not much more to say about a shower. But full beam, full height. I'm 6'2", it's probably 6'5" in here. You've got plenty of room. You never feel like you're down. And the other thing I will say is if you look out there, the both sides with an opening porthole and a big piece of fixed glass lower to the water line. Some of the best views I've ever had in my life are waking up on the water. The color of the water in the Bahamas, obviously the TV would be down. This TV raises and lowers. You got a little switch here, we'll lower it. But the view is spectacular. It really is. There's a Bose sound system under here so that you've got good sound from your TV. In all honesty, we've never turned our TV on in here. It's I kind of have this notion, you put the TV in because you have to, but it's if you're watching TV in your boat, you're either with the wrong people or maybe you're in the wrong place. Washer and dryer. Back in 2019, I said, these things they work a little bit. And in 2023, it's about the same. They work a little bit. They can't put a lot in them, and don't let it dry all the way. It'll get you a couple towels, a couple bathing suits when you're under duress. But I'm waiting. I'm excited to wait for the next development of marine technology for the combo washer dryer. VIP stateroom. I think it's massive. I've put some of the people most special in my life up here, and everybody says it's just amazing. Again, you've got port lights, you got opening portholes, charging stations on both sides. You've got phenomenal closets up here, 2 of them. Behind this glass is an LG TV. I actually deleted it on my boat because again, we're not TV people on when we're on the boat, but it's a really cool feature if you're a TV family. And then storage up here, right? Big time storage here, storage here, storage here. Again, this dynamic of under the bed, massive. So what I have under here is all my spare parts. We have, with every Azimut we sell, we offer a Save the Moment parts kit. It's an incredible amount of parts, and it fills this entire bin up. It's extra AC pumps, it's extra water pumps, it's extra bilge pumps, hoses, filters, you name it. However, the idea is if you're remote, if you have the part, you can usually find somebody to fix it. So we loaded it up, and it's totally full. And Knock on wood, I haven't used any of the parts, so it's kind of like insurance. You never want to use your life insurance, but it's there if you need it, and if not, it's a massive amount of storage. We got another closet over here, and then here's the, give you a quick closet here, and then a phenomenal head. I'll get in the shower to give you an idea of the size and scale. Full headroom, same shower system as the master. Clip it up, you got it, set it, forget it. Got a little seat if you want. You can open this to ventilate if you so choose. And it's a nice head. So it's the VIP head, separated shower from the toilet, which is not always the case. Big medicine cabinet, if you can look inside there. And then again, storage to die for. And we're in the middle of the day, so it's hard to see the lighting, but there's accent lighting below, accent lighting, dimmable lighting. It's all great. Third stateroom. Same old story, massive storage under both beds. I won't disrupt it and open it up. Massive storage inside there. These beds are awesome. They're, I have a 6-year-old daughter. She sleeps in here and loves it. Feels like she has her own cabin. From the boat we came from, she certainly does. It's puts a little night light down there because there's an outlet. There's switches, safe and self-contained. They don't push together. There's been times where I wish they did push together. I think that's something that Azimut ought to look at in the future of, can you slide one over, slide one this way to make for a double bed in case you didn't have kids with you. But as it stands, it's a great third stateroom in a 60-foot boat. Lastly, let's hit the day head. This is the head that'll service the guests without having to go into the master or the VIP. Has a shower. All the things that you would have in a head. In the third stateroom, that guest will use this head. And in my opinion, very, very nice. So that is a quick tour through the inside. Let's go up on what I think is undoubtedly the best bridge in the 60-foot class. It is absolutely phenomenal. First of all, big wide steps to get up there. One of the things we boat with a dog, we were afraid, can the dog get up and down? And if the dog couldn't get up and down, I don't know what I was going to do, but he navigates this like a champ. It's wide, it's got good footing. When you get up here, and this does not, and I've been in the business 30 years, this doesn't feel like a 60-foot bridge. You look at the room and the space that you get up here, it's incredible. We'll start back here. I always feel like this area is one of my favorite areas. We come out at night, we sit down, you're in a marina, beautiful view, but you're kind of up away from the people that are walking around. Have a glass of wine at the end of the night, and it's just for me, it's a really comforting way to end my day. It's just so rare that I wouldn't do it up here at the end of the night. It's just, it's a good place to be. You're with the people that you care about, and it's fun. And look, during the day, it's even more fun. So I'm going to hit a button. We got a shade above us that normally works. There it goes. This is kind of cool. This will extend out and give you a little bit of shade if, quite honestly, you're looking for shade. You spend a couple of weeks in the Bahamas, you can't get a hat wide enough. You're looking for shade everywhere you go because you're just, you're getting it. But look at what it does. All the way out here now, you're in. Some people want sun, some people don't. This gives you the best of both worlds. And I'll bring it back in. This is my area on the boat. Kenyan grill, I can't even tell you how many hundreds of meals I've cooked on this. And I tell you, you can cook on this. I have a summer kitchen in my house that is probably the cost of a small boat. I can do everything on that. I can do this on this Kenyon grill. Doesn't look like a lot, but funny enough, it cooks to the very edges. So if you load this grill up, even on the edges, it's cooking the same as it cooks in the middle because there's no hot spots. Phenomenal, phenomenal. And then inside here, you've got a refrigerator, another refrigerator. Your trash is here, pretty self-explanatory. This is where I put an outlet. When we're done cooking, I can bring a TV up here every now and then. When we want to watch something and you're up here in the most elegant area of the boat for relaxing, and you can watch a game. And then you have an ice maker on this side, which I'll let you see in a second. This is where I run the boat. Nothing to it. It's great visibility. I feel like it's a bigger boat than I've ever had, but no anxiety. I felt like it was a nimble enough boat, not so big that it's intimidating to dock. You don't get pure visibility to the corners as you won't in many of these boats, but if I turn my head, I can get enough visibility. I have the cameras to help me, which I hardly ever reference because you start to understand, it's like parking a car. You start to understand the spatial, what you got, spatial recognition, I guess. And it's, I call it nimble, and it's an 80,000 pound boat, but it's not some boats are big. It's not an awkward boat. It's not small by any stretch, but it's a nice boat to dock. Didn't really talk about the canvas, but the Battling canvas is, it looks so nice, so elegant. You're like, why would you ever have it outside? Because it can get wet, it can get food on it. You wipe it off, and it looks like this. Mine looks like this, different color. Mine looks like this 14 months and 300 hours later, 2,000 miles later. I don't have a stain anywhere. So I'll knock on wood when I say that, because I'm really happy the way that turned out. You've got an opening shade, which I don't open very often, honestly. Again, going back to the shade comment, the stereo system works. But if you want to open the shade, you hit that little button and the shade will open up. And you'll get plenty of, if I was in the north, I'd probably use it a lot more because you don't get as much sun as we get in Florida. But from a Helm standpoint, we kind of jumped quickly. It's got a Seakeeper 9. You've got a Seakeeper control up here. Windlass control up here. You can run the boat fully functional from either station, and there's nothing you need that you don't have. And that's the bridge of the 60 Azimut Fly. All right, so let's head to the bow. One thing you're going to notice is walk-arounds, handholds, handhold where you got it. You've got fuel in here, which on both sides, which I think is really nice the way that they did it. It's invisible to the deck. Sorry for the little bit of discolored water. That's the nature of the beast. But you can fuel either side. There's a automatic fuel transfer that'll balance. There's 2 tanks. It'll balance the 2 tanks so that you don't have a boat that's fighting itself from a listing standpoint. But depending on which side you pull up, you don't have to drag a hose to the other side to fill the other tank. In the transfer pumps as fast as you can pump it in. So I've never had the situation where I'm waiting for it to transfer. Knock on wood, it's been phenomenal. But a big wide walk around, big wide cleats, oversized cleats. Well, maybe not oversized, properly sized. Never had an issue with not being enough. And then you come up here, this is a place where people are going to want to lay out and they're going to want to just enjoy. This flips back. Usually when you anchor, you'll anchor into the wind, so you'll get a nice amount of breeze up here. And they're buried under here. There's a tremendous amount of storage under that seat. But here will be 4 posts, carbon fiber, very beautiful actually, carbon fiber posts that will put a sun sail up here. I can walk under it without hitting my head, but if you want to have a little bit of shade up here, you put the sun sail up and you sit back and just enjoy it. It's I think it's just an amazing area. You've got individual control of the bow of the sound system. You want to sit, you want to lay out, you want to do both. It's all here for you. So I'm going to put this back. Flip this over. And then when this flips over, sun pad. You get tired hearing about storage, but a couple nice little areas up here. Canvas, or you'll see the lines, fenders, lines, canvas. These are the windscreens that go on the boat when you're at anchor at rest. You want a little privacy, knock the heat down a little bit. That's what they do. But you have one on port and starboard. Really, it's just nice to have a place to put everything where you're not moving things to get to things. Usually you can move it once and you're done. All right, now for the techies, we'll go into the engine room. We'll see what's going on down there. Back up one second. I didn't show the main distribution panel, but everything is hidden behind this feature. Beautiful rounded wood blends. Open it up, and there is a ton of your 12 volt and 120 switches. You'll start your generator from here. It's all self-explanatory, but it's pretty easy to fire up the boat, fire it, and then bring it down at night. And then here are the various switches for the lighting inside the boat, which is all on. Some of your exterior lighting. I actually got a label maker, and mine's a little hokey, but there's so many switches until your brain recognizes where everything goes. It's nice to have a little label over it that just says, hey, it's the Salon, it's the light over the Dinette. Now we'll go into the engine room, but I mean, take a look at the stainless steel stanchions that hold up the aft table. Polished stainless steel, high quality stainless steel. Again, 2,000 miles, 300 hours. I just had the boat detailed. It polishes up just like new. It's really, really cool the way the boat is, I would say, wearing or not wearing. It's holding up really well. We're really diligent on maintenance. I make sure that we do the right stuff and stay ahead of problems. But even with that, boat's holding up really, really well. And we've seen a couple areas where I pulled up the fuel area, and you see that boats just, boats get dirty. So we're going to jump down here. You've got a ladder to get down. It's probably just as easy to stand on the sound box, but it's we got a 21 kW Kohler generator here. It'll run the whole boat under max load. I've never had an issue where I needed power and the boat couldn't deliver it either through the shore power or through the generator. But come on down, I'll get you in here. So two 900 Volvo engines, plenty of power. Again, it's a 30 knot boat. I generally run at 24, 25 knots, and that's about 70 gallons an hour. It's about 0.4 of a mile per gallon. So it isn't anything you're going to get super excited about, but in the scheme of boats, it's it's in the sweet spot. That's about what you're going to get with a 80,000 pound boat. Seakeeper 9. Plenty to handle everything that you need. There's your Seakeeper there. I like these two partitions that they put up here to mount your rake oars. Super, super clean. Strainers are in here. Nobody likes checking your strainers, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. And it's easy to get to, right? So you pop in here and you got them. I did Electric, which is a clear lines, which is a system that goes in front of the AC filter, or the AC strainer, and it kind of ionizes the water so that it prohibits growth. And knock on wood, I've not had an AC issue yet. That's something that I would highly recommend that, and I would recommend the Spot Zero. My Spot Zero went right here. This thing came out, and the Spot Zero goes here. It's a water purifier, desalinator below it, and when you wash the boat, you have 0 spots. You don't even have to chamois it. So, and to drink the water, I test it all the time because I'm probably a geek when it comes to that. I don't want to drink bad water. It is 10 times more pure than the water in my house. So I'm 14 particles per million. My house is roughly 200. 200 isn't bad, but to me 14 is good. So I like, generally people don't drink the boat water. I'm drinking it every day. It's nice when you shower, and it's super nice when you wash the boat. Really, really nice. It's an option that MarineMax, we can put that in for you, or you can go directly to Spot Zero, but it's well worth it, well worth it. There's the chiller system. You can hear it run in here, but you definitely can't hear it run inside the boat. Some of your various breaker panels, we've got another breaker panel in the crew quarters, but to me, this is really simple. We'll go forward just real quick. I'll show you the engine strainers, right? The engine strainers are exposed. You don't even have to open a hatch to look at them. If you need to turn them off, this was actually pretty cool, right? Instead of a seacock, you've really got it. It looks very yachtish, right? It makes it. I knew I was moving to a new class of boat when you shut your strainers off like that. And you see the T on this strainer. It's actually that is an auxiliary bilge pump. That if your engines are running and your bilge pumps aren't, and you're taking on water, that will extract water out of the boat. So it's a great safety feature that hopefully none of us ever need. But if you need it, you'll be glad you have it. And you'll see the fuel tanks on both sides. You'll see some of the labeling. The strainers were all labeled, if you didn't notice that. The strainers say air conditioning, they say stabilizer, everything, generator. It tells you exactly what everything is. You've got work lights here. You've got a hose back here for water, which, you're like, do you need a hose in the bilge? Sure you do. When you check your strainers, you pull your strainer basket out and it's got stuff in it. You put it in a bucket, but you're getting salt water in your boat. So when you're done, you hose it all out. The bilge pump takes it and it's clean. That's, I'm an owner operator, and for an owner operator, it's pretty nice. Or for your captain will appreciate it. This boat's about 50-50, owner operator versus captain. Captain would be an amazing luxury to have. It's really cool. Then you really enjoy the boat. I still kind of feel like not only am I a working guy and I don't mind running the boat, I actually enjoy running the boat. Don't necessarily enjoy washing it. That's why I have the Spot Zero. But, someday maybe a captain's in my future. But either way, whether you're an owner operator or a captain, this boat is laid out awesome. All right, so now we're to the last area of the boat, the swim platform. This is a hydraulic lift. I have a Williams 345, which is the biggest tender I could put on here. This is a total capacity of about 900 pounds, but you have to have the platform, so be careful. And width-wise, you got to put the chocks. Something on platforms, you've got to go to where the manufacturer tells you to go. You can't say, hey, I can get a bigger tender if I go out here, because you're changing the dynamics. Really, really important point. Opak Mare doesn't want to hear about it. They want the boat centered, so you center it. Mine kind of just hits, so honestly what I do is there's a hose right up here. I just kind of hose it down to get it a little wet. Here, the hose is right in here. You got a hose and a water bib. I use this hose, but here's a rinse down right here that comes out. Hot and cold, which is wonderful. Shore power in there on a Glendenning, of course. But I'll just kind of run some water right down there so that when the boat slips by and hits, it doesn't catch. But that enables me to keep it centered, to not have to crawl underneath it to secure it, which we were doing early on, and we couldn't do that anymore. And not void the warranty by putting it way out here. The dynamics totally change. It's got to stay in the center. So enough about that. You've got storage, but you've got a 900-pound lift where you can put a jet ski or a tender. We fell in love with the tender. Plenty of stuff in here, fenders, lines, whatever you like. And then cruise quarters, or the largest closet on the boat, whichever you prefer. But you come down in here, you've got a bunk, you've got storage, you've got a little bit of storage here for the crew. Here's another electrical panel, one that I spoke about. These are for some of the breakers that you're just not going to get to. You're not going to need them very often. Washing machine, Seakeeper, water maker, bigger breakers that are just not needed. So we'll put these down. Those are your screens for inside the boat. And then you've got a shower in here. And really, you kind of have a day head. There you go. You have a day head for the people that are swimming. If they need to go use the bathroom, if the water isn't their thing, you've got a day head back here where you can use. Mine, it's total storage. That is a whirlwind tour of the Azimut 60 Fly. It's about half the story at the end of the day, right? So you got a wonderful boat. You want to go boating. What's that mean? So to me, the other part of the story is the brand and the company that you're buying it from. So Azimut, I think, is, well, number one for 21 or 22 years in a row. It's been the number one producer of boats, fiberglass pleasure boats in the world. Huge. 21 years in a row, maybe 22 now. So they know how to do it. And this is, honestly, it's one of the smaller boats that they build. When you look around our yacht center, I'm standing here at the amazing MarineMax Yacht Center in Pompano, Florida. This is one of the smaller boats that Azimut builds. And that technical know-how that goes into this carries forward to up to a 38 meter. It's basically that same engineering team, maybe not every person doing every job, but that ecosystem of engineering, of construction, of design. This is an Achille Silvani design, very famous designer. I didn't mention that earlier, I probably should have. They partner with fantastic designers. They've got great naval architects. The boat, there's no apologies anywhere. Now the dealer, MarineMax. I think we're the best in the world. We live, our culture is to provide better service to our customers every single day. We love selling boats, we love what we do, but at the end of the day, we can't do it without customers. So we'll break our backs to make sure that your experience is as good as it possibly can be. And as a boat owner, I can tell you, you need service from time to time. And you know when you need it? When you're on the boat with your family and something goes wrong. And it's highly urgent. It's I need it now, or you know, I go to the boat, honestly, I go to the boat the day before if I'm gonna go boating for the weekend to make sure that everything works, so that I at least give myself a chance that, hey, if something's down for some reason, which has happened, I can react in time to not ruin a weekend. So little tips like that may help you. But in all honesty, MarineMax, that's all we try to do is provide better service, right? We love selling boats, we love what we do, but at the end of the day, for every guy like me in sales, there's two behind me in service that are running around trying to make sure that our customers stay on the water. And that is equally important as the brand of boat that you buy. I promise you. It's a whole experience, it's a whole ecosystem. Azimut MarineMax, we do trips together. We do a trip at Ocean Reef every year. We do a trip in the north. We go from Newport to Nantucket to P-Town. We're going to Maine this year. We do trips to Italy. We do a trip for customers to the Cannes Boat Show to go immerse yourself in the European culture, even though you're looking at the same boat. Honestly, this boat looks better in Cannes. I can't help it. It's in a better place. And that aura is just, it's electric, right? To experience that, to go to some of the most glamorous places in the world as part of a family, I think is pretty special. And we have customers, thankfully we have customers that have done it with us for years and years. We've got a trip coming up to Sicily where we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 customers that are gonna go on a trip to go look at boats in Sicily. Now Azimut's gonna do something cool for them. We've got some surprises for them, but that whole thing is just, it's fantastic. And it's, you know, like you could tell I love it, and I'm proud to present the boat to you, proud to talk about our company. I thank you very much for spending some time and learning about the Azimut 60 and Azimut and MarineMax, and I hope to see you on the water.